All right, guys, welcome. I hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah, here we are. So, if you are in the chat, let me know. Yeah, guys, if you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. I hope you guys are all doing well. We'll give it a few seconds here as I kind of let some people join. Today we kind of want to talk about a couple things. So, we'll just give it a couple seconds. What's up, Karen? Hi. I hope you can hear me. If you guys can hear me, just let me know. So, yes, perfect. Awesome. We'll let a couple more people join. Give it a couple seconds. Karen, do you want to start out with the question for me? Today's topic I kind of want to talk about is the biggest struggles in assisted living. So, if you're having any issues starting, what's holding you up, different things of that sort, feel free to just ask any questions. So, we'll just give it a little while. Hopefully, more people join. I know it's kind of early, but I kind of wanted to jump on here and get this live stream going. So, yeah. Oh, kind of tired, but it's okay. You know, gotta do this for you guys, and I enjoy doing these things for you guys. So, thanks, Robert. The test for a license, is it difficult? Manager's license or the license for the home? Is that Hey, what's up, Maya? I got your name right this time. Tell the kids I said hi. Hope the kids are doing well. I hope they're healthy. Instead of watching, I guess, some TV show, you guys are watching me. I'm sure they're probably enjoying that. Manager's license. So the manager's license isn't necessarily the hardest, but a lot of it has to do with state regulations. So it's a lot of memorization, and I studied for it as much as I could with the manager's license, but it's just like a regular test. I believe it was 75 questions. To me personally, like, I mean, I went to nursing school, so testing for me isn't really that hard. I definitely overcame the anxiety of taking tests. So the manager's license really wasn't hard. For most people, it would probably be a little harder. I think if you are bilingual and English isn't your first language, there's a lot of lingo, with laws and everything that make it a little harder. But yeah, for the most part, I would say it was fairly easy, in my opinion. It's just a matter. I mean, a lot of people are just scared to go take it, and it is a little time consuming. But once it's done, and you just try to keep your track record clean. And no matter where you go hang your license, you want to make sure that you're hanging it in a good home. So, Maya, are you having any struggles with getting your home set up, or what are some of the struggles that maybe I can help you with or give you advice on? If you do have any, anybody else that's watching, if you guys have any kind of struggles, uh, you're welcome, Karen. So yeah, I would just, for the manager's license, make sure you just study for it. It's mainly, and you're still looking. Okay, yeah, I mean, be patient with looking for a property. Just know that you want to find the right one. You don't want to rush that process. Patience is a virtue, so you want to just make sure you get the right one. And if you're purchasing it, even that's even more critical because you now are putting a mortgage on your name. So they are crazy expensive. Yeah, I bet they are expensive in San Diego. I can't even imagine. Gosh, I can't even think of like the taxes and stuff. Oh man, I don't know. Props to you for doing that in Cali. I know somebody in California that has two, I believe, right now. Uh, but yeah, I've never talked numbers with them. I don't know what their numbers are when it comes to how much they're making. I know they've been in the business for years, though. Like it's pretty much been their livelihood. So they've been at it for a really long time. But yeah, and they're like twice my age. So yeah, I don't know. My advice with looking for a property is just be patient with it. The one that you're interested in is 1.2 million. Yeah, that's crazy. Is it a 10 bed, 5 bed? How big is it? Is it Hopefully it's not. I mean, 1.2. I mean, my opinion on that is make sure the numbers make sense. You want to make sure uh, your return on your investment is really good. Do you think 20K is enough to start up, Maddie? Uh, 20K to start up is, you could do it, but I'll tell you what, you're gonna be pushing it when it comes to, when you pay staff. The reason why I said 50K is just to have that leeway, and you're not stretching, or you're not taking the risk of, not being able to pay your residents or pay your staff. If you got, the way I did it essentially is, when I started out, when I would pay my referral fees, I would pay them as my residents paid me. So therefore, in my video, I did mention that you want to have that to be able to cover your referral fees and your staff and all that. But that's just kind of the way I did it. I would just pay as I went. I didn't pay it all out of pocket, like 100%, right on the first month. So that's how I did it. So great question. How quickly did you find staff after you opened, and what was the process like? So the staff was a little. Staffing is also another thing that's very important, because for me, my consultant and the person that I was working with did have connections with a school that is for caregivers. So what we did was essentially we hit up the owner of that school and we said, hey, do you have anybody that needs a job, or anybody that's contacted you about a job? And we found someone who had just recently, the home that they were currently in working at, they just closed it down, so he was just out of a job, and timing just worked out perfectly. But there could be the scenario where people just finished caregiving school and they need a job, and so look for caregiving schools and go there. Once you're like my current caregivers, they are integrated into their whole ordeal, and they all work together, so they definitely have a lot of connects in that way. So Maya, that's awesome. Hopefully, the business with the property together. That's the way to go. That's the preferred way if you are able to do that. So good for you on doing that. How much do you pay staff? I pay staff on a salary, due to the fact of, they do groceries for me. A lot of it I'm hands off, so I don't do any of those groceries or anything of that sort. What's up, Sam? Thanks, my guy. Appreciate you. All right, I hope you guys aren't all at the barbecue. I know I saw someone's barbecue. That's sick. That you guys should all just jump on my live stream right now and get me my watch time. But so yeah, that's how I pay staff. I make it all hands off, and they do all the shopping, because shopping is really not my thing. What's up, guys? Tell them to enjoy some barbecue for me. I'm cutting right now, so I can't. Unfortunately, if I was there, I wouldn't be able to eat anything. Uh, so yeah, I miss you guys though. I miss you, Sam, Robert, all of you boys. I miss you guys. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm currently just chilling, making these vids. How soon after opening did you get your first resident? I believe it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks. Is how quickly I got my first resident, and after that resident, my second resident was about a week or a week and a half after, and so my first resident ended up going to a different facility due to the fact that she went on Medicaid, and I don't do Medicaid. But my second resident is still currently with me, so she is definitely worth the investment of having to pay my referral fee for her. So, are you still working as a nurse? Not sure when to make that transition of leaving my current job. No, man. I Funny thing is, I've actually never worked as a nurse per se. Like, I didn't take a job in the hospital or took on an official title as a nurse, due to the fact that once I graduated, I went straight into starting my business. I didn't want to go work anywhere else, and so yeah, I would say if you're going to transition, leaving your job, I would 100% say make sure that this is what you really want to do and kind of get yourself set up. Get your home first, get your property, go through the license. I think once you got like a resident or two in, or maybe even fill your home, I would then probably go like PRN and then transition into just doing your business full time. You have to meet with each resident's family members. I preferably like to meet with the family members because it's more of a, they give me more trust and they allow me to take care of their loved one. And so that way I can actually know what I'm dealing with when it comes to the family, because the family alone could be a whole nother job, seriously, because they can be so needy. They can be the ones that end up giving you like the biggest problem sometimes. So you want to meet them for sure. You want to make sure you like settle everything beforehand. What do you gross and what do you net? You don't have to answer this question if you don't want. Just very curious. I'm not going to answer that question, not because I don't want to. It's just more of a personal question. You know, I can say that it's worth it, is what I would essentially say with how much I gross and how much I net. I did make a video saying how much I gross, but it wasn't a full year. It was like, I think I was like 9 months in, and I was at like 87K gross. But yeah, last year was a rough start for me in the beginning, but then I bounced back, and from there, this year I will definitely be in the green. Um, that's kind of what I'm working towards more, is just being more uh, efficient with my money and my spending and my expenses, and minimizing things that could be minimized, and doing stuff like that. And you don't, in the beginning, it's kind of hard to, I can't really give you guys like a solid number because every month will be different. You will have vacancies here and there, and you will have a full month, right, where you have all the residents, all the beds filled, and then there will be a couple months where maybe you don't. Maybe you have 3, 4, 6, 7. You know, it just all depends. How much would you say you spend on food for the residents each month? How do you get connected and able to receive medications? Do you have food handlers license, or do you have someone prepare? Beautiful. A lot of questions. I love that, Kay Michelle. So, how much would you say you spend on food for the residents each month? Guys, keep in mind residents don't eat a lot. They really don't. Okay, they have very little appetites. If they're eating well, then they might eat a little more. But with that being said, I probably spend about $500 to $800, but I do only have a 5-bed, and some of my residents don't eat that much. And then I also have a resident who purchase her own food. So she does her own. There's an app called I can't think off the top of my head. Instacart. Yeah. So I just order everything off Instacart and gets it delivered here at the home. And so she just has her credit card on file, and she just tells me when she needs to do that. How do you get connected and able to receive medications? That is all up to the pharmacy that they're using. I have a pharmacy that I work with that actually delivers. So if they're on hospice, hospice will cover a good portion of the medications. The medications that they're not covered by, their insurance, their personal insurance will cover it, and then that's my pharmacy will deliver those medications. So that's how I do that. Do you have a food handler's license? Yes, and the food handlers takes like an hour to do, and you could do it online, and it costs $12.95 to do, and anybody can do it. And technically, yeah, you can start cooking food, and my caregivers prepare the food, and they all have food handlers cards. What's the average time each resident stays in the home? LJ, that's a great question. Average time with, you got to take into consideration. That's a really hard number to hit, but I don't know who asked me this question. Someone asked me this in one of my comments, but it's 7 months. 7 months from, okay, so you'll have like hospice residents who may pass away within a couple days, a couple months, and then you'll have residents who survive for years, right? And then you'll have residents that are just respite stay. So if you take that all in combination, it roughly averages out to 7 months. Do you get paid monthly, or do you receive payment from the government quarterly? Do I get paid monthly? Monthly, like my residents pay me month to month. And I don't do anything government wise. Like Medicaid is government, and I don't do Medicaid because that's low income. All right, are caregivers okay with salary? Yes, caregivers are. Um, just have to find the right ones to work with, Robert. Yeah, and you're welcome, AJ. Do you do you stuff do you does you stuff have something like diet? I'm just important things like meds. Yeah, so are you asking if there's like a chart? Yeah, so each resident does have a chart, and I do run down through that chart in one of my videos. I believe it's called the admission process is the video. But yes, I do have a chart for each resident. You do want to have a chart for each resident, and there's a lot of stuff in that chart that I keep that are super important. What's up? Is it AM? I want to start a business, but my wife is scared of the state audits. Ha, yes. State audits are actually my favorite because like I'm the type of person that like under pressure, I perform really well. It's really interesting and weird, but so like when state audits are happening, I happen to just really love them, and they don't really make me nervous anymore. And don't be scared of state audits. Here's the thing: these surveyors, these people that come and audit your business, they're not there to shut you down. Like keep that in mind, okay? Because that'll help you keep yourself calm when you're doing like an inspection or a survey. They're all the same. Audits, whatever. They all mean the same thing. Um, but if you just keep in mind that you're they're there to help you, and they're there to make sure that the residents are being taken care of and that your facility is following the regulations. Okay, so if let's say something, for instance, isn't working properly, okay, like say your fridge just stops working, or say that you forgot the oxygen tanks out and about and they're not in like a secure rack, okay, uh, they're there to tell you, hey, you need to do that, fix that while we're here. Therefore, you don't get a deficiency. And as long as you fix those mistakes, the little ones, then you're good to go. They're there to make sure that you guys are providing safe and proper care for the residents and making sure that the environment is safe. Do you have any issues with government inquiries regarding your pay of your caregivers? Do you have any? No. So it all comes down to how you properly set that up with your CPA, and you want to make sure you set it up properly with taxes and everything, because yes, there will be issues if you don't. So some states don't. You want to make sure you're doing the proper things. Drop this man likes. Yes, hit the likes, guys. I mean, yeah, let's get this video up there. I would appreciate that. That's all I ask. I mean, I'm doing this for you guys, so all I ask is for likes. So thank you, Money Recall. I appreciate that. I do enjoy doing these things for you guys, though. So, all right, guys, let's see what other questions do we got here. You guys need. I love you guys are asking great questions, though. So that's that's giving me something to elaborate on and make sure that I'm guiding you guys in the proper way. Because I mean, I wish I had someone doing this for me when I started. Do you like doing assisted living more than you do nursing? Yes, Britt, I do. 100%. Yes. I mean, there's pros and cons to both, but I would say I'd rather deal with the cons of assisted living than the cons of working as a nurse or working in the hospital in general or working for someone else. I mean, that's just so yeah, 100%. Do you recommend buying an existing business or start from scratch? I did answer this in my last live, but I recommend buying an existing business. If you want to learn more, like if you want to actually be the best and learn the most, start from scratch. Because buying an existing business, you're going to have to incorporate the model that they had and the way they were doing things at that business. And if you don't know any better and you haven't started from scratch and created like your own way of doing things, you won't know any better. You'll just think, oh, okay, like um, it's like, oh, okay, like what they've been doing this whole time has been working, and it may be good and it may be great, but it also may not be. So, yeah, there's pros and cons to that. Keep that in mind, guys. Life is just there's always pros and cons to everything. You just kind of have to do what's best for you and what makes sense for you financially, where you're at in life. What type of branding have you done? Branding for like my assisted living, money recall. Not too much. Not too much branding. You don't. It's kind of a weird. It's a weird niche to try to brand. You can, but if you got money, um, yeah, like you can brand in so many different ways. You can go so many different routes when it comes to branding, but I haven't done much with branding. I don't want to be a bedside nurse forever. I am seriously thinking of attempting this search. What websites would you recommend to get all the legal things needed to set up the business and get it ready? So that is a great question. You don't need all kinds of like crazy stuff. You guys don't need to go pay thousands of dollars to these gurus that think they like. No, you don't need to do that. What you need to do is learn your state regulations. I would start there because, and then go to their offices and tell them, hey, I want to start an assisted living. They will have all the resources for you guys. Okay, so don't just go to your state. Like, don't be afraid of them. Like, I know it's like state, and I know it's the government, but don't be afraid of them. They will give you guys great resources. And if they are kind of like being, you know how government employees are, they just kind of hate their jobs too. So they like put off things and kind of like treat you like garbage. But don't give up. Just keep telling them, hey, I need to do this. I need to do this. So they should give you guys all the information. And more than half the stuff is for free on the internet. So 21st century is good, but can you do it yourself? Yes, you can 100% do it yourself. There's no doubt about it. Like, for the most part, I did everything myself. I did have a bit of assistance, but other than that, I did pretty much everything myself. So we're looking into buying an existing business. They are asking 575K for the house and business. Okay, 575. Uh, what is their gross income? And how many residents do they have in their house? And I will tell you if it's a good deal or not. Yo, bro, how many bedrooms and square footage do you recommend starting with for the first residential assisted living? I would say start with you want to have 7 beds. So, like 5 bedrooms, 3 bath would be a good place to start. You want to have 7 beds at least. That's a good place. You could start with 5 beds like I did, but you can start at 7. 7 would be a good place to start. Jay. SBA is offering free consultation. Yeah, SBA is awesome. If you guys don't know, because they are a government program, they do provide a lot of resource and knowledge. So yeah, Maya, they do provide good knowledge. Yeah, Robert, I agree too. Smash the like button. Oh man, I can only start with the 3 bets. Listen, as long as you guys start, okay, like you starting is the hardest thing. Okay, guys. So the fact that you guys are all here watching me is a start. Now take what I'm telling you guys and what I teach you guys and go implement it into the real world. And then that's another step towards progress. Okay, guys. So no matter how many bets, 7, 6, 5, 10, it doesn't matter, guys. Like, get started and learn the process. Don't overwhelm yourselves. And you also don't want to, you know, take a bigger bite than you can chew, right? Like, don't go start a 10 bed if you don't even have any experience. I'm happy I didn't start a 10 bed because I think if I would have went and started a 10 bed, I'd be like way in over my head. So, yeah. As the owner, how much care do you personally provide per week, if any? Ooh, so as of like January, not really much. I know that sounds crazy. Because I did hire some really good staff. So I definitely haven't provided really any care at all. So, yeah, barely any. On the business side, was there anything that surprised you that you wish someone would have told you? Yes, money recall, all of it. I think all of it would have actually. Yeah, I uh, I would say there's that's a great question because what surprised me was the finances. It wasn't as financially great as I thought it would have been. So that surprised me, I think, more than anything, because I think a lot of people have a misconception that they're going to become millionaires from doing assisted living. You do well for yourself, but you don't become a millionaire. So I can say that much. Okay, 7 beds. Can I do that in a 4 bedroom home? If you have all semi-privates and like one, yeah, you'd have to have, yeah, you could do it a 4 bedroom. You'd have to have, so yeah, you'd have to have a couple semi-privates. Do you share, borrow other employee caregivers from to help with last minute staffing needs, call offs? No, I do not borrow. What there's a third party business company um, that has caregivers. They're specific caregivers, but it's home health type of businesses that provide their CNAs for situations like that, for last minute call offs, for situation when you're in dire need. So, but they're expensive. I used one, and it was like $25 an hour for a caregiver to come in and like cover a shift. So yeah, too expensive to do that. So it's better to hire your own staff. So do you eventually want to open other homes? Eventually, maybe. I am. This first home took out a lot out of me. It took a lot out of me, to be honest, because I started from scratch, and as you guys all know, I learned everything on my own. So I lost about 10 years of my life. I'm just kidding. No, but it definitely wore me out pretty quickly. I think if I'm going to do it again, I'm probably gonna be a lot smarter about it. I know what to look for now, and I've definitely learned a lot. So it's gonna be a minute before I expand, and I'm just trying to find the right deal because a lot of the issues that I'm coming across right now with trying to expand is I obviously want to purchase the property and the business together. So and just everyone's too expensive. They're over asking. Everybody's like trying to sell their businesses for way too much than what they're actually worth. So you got to be careful with that, and that's essentially what the deal is right now with me wanting to expand. How much do you make? Man, you guys are like straight to the point. I'm not going to tell you guys how much I make. Not because, like I said, not because I don't want to tell you guys. It's because I don't want to give you guys a misconception. And K Michelle, what's a resident? It's RAL is residential assisted living. Um, so yeah, it's not because what I make will probably be different than what you guys will make in your area. So yeah, that's that. If you don't mind me asking, how much profit did you see and how much did you save from doing it yourself? So that's a great. I saw a lot more profit once I did get my thing all set up and got my, it. Listen, guys, if you know anything about business, it takes at least 2 years for any business to be profitable. Okay, at minimum 2 years. So keep that in mind. The first year is always going to be the worst, like in the sense of making a profit. So I didn't keep much. Everything I made, I reinvested back in the business, whether it's through uh, you know paying caregivers better, other issues that came up. So let's see. Is it a good idea to give out your prices over the phone, or would it be the best to have them take a tour then discuss prices in person, please? Hi. Hey, LJ. It's good to see you here. You can give prices over the phone. There's not an issue about that. I mean, I don't see any difference from like putting your prices or like it's kind of better to get them in the house and tour them because you have a better chance of closing them if they come and tour your home. So, well, if you started at about 87 in the first year and you're doing better this year, that's all I need to know. Yeah. So that it wasn't even a full year at that point. So, um, yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys all saw that video where I actually lost 20 grand, technically on, yeah, and so I was pretty happy with the amount I made for the first year to be able to bounce back from the loss that I had. And understand, guys, like if you have a loss like that, it's gonna be, yeah, like you understand. I went through it. So when leasing your first property, how accommodating are landlords with modifications to the home? How do you go around that or make it appealing to the landlord? So the the modifications, they don't have to be too intense. Like, I mean, don't go destroying their bathrooms and like putting in a walk-in shower. The way you so here's the my advice with that. If you're gonna come out of pocket to do any type of modifications, like put a walk-in shower in a bathroom or do anything like that, you guys gotta understand that property is not even yours if you're leasing it. Okay, so you don't want to even do that. Don't make any of those kinds of modifications. If you're gonna have to make those kind of modifications, you might as well go buy your own property. There's no need to be investing something like that into a property that's not yours. Never do that. That's a terrible business decision. So don't even go like. There's no need to entertain that. It's better off to just yeah, not do that. Go buy your own property. Is my advice. But I'm leasing my property, and my state regulations don't require me to do much more than the bare minimum. So, have you hired a manager, or do you just handle everything yourself, administrative wise? I am my own manager, and I handle everything myself. As the quote goes, if you can do it yourself, do it. If not, delegate with someone else. And I don't mind doing the administrative part. It really gives me a better idea of who my residents are and everything. So, yeah. What about the ramps and grips, etc.? Ramps and grips, you can easily get ones that stick onto the walls, and the ramps I bought were from Home Depot. So, and I can take them with me. I mean, they don't stay at the home. I can just take them and sell them on eBay. So I did the bare minimum that I needed to do at the home. And no, yeah, you're not doing anything that's like destroying the home or anything that's requiring you to tear down a wall. So, are you on a long-term lease? What happens when the landlord says he wants to occupy the house or sell the house? Yeah, so I did a 2-year lease. That is an issue that could come up where he says, "Hey, man, get out of my house. I want to live here because my house is awesome." That could come up, and well, at that point, you try to negotiate with him. Hey, I'll pay you more. You cross that bridge when it comes. Hypothetically speaking, if that happens, yeah, that would suck, but you just put up with it. Besides a CNA certificate and MedTech certificate, what else will I need to be compliant as the caretaker? A caregiver certificate. So you got those two, but that doesn't qualify you as a caregiver depending on your state. So yeah, you may have to do, and to be able to bridge from a CNA to caregiver isn't very long. You could do it within like a week or two, I believe, and then go for the exam. So, how much time does it actually take out of your day? I work 16s as a floor nurse, and I believe this may be a little better, but it could be worse being that you run everything. No, I'll tell you what, K. Michelle, that's not the case at all. I make my own hours. I come and go as I please. I wake up when I want. That beats 16-hour shifts any day. I can tell you that much. So in the beginning, I did work a lot. Like I did work a lot to getting it set up. So I don't even remember. It's all kind of blur now because I did like a ton of yeah. I don't even remember those days because they were all blur now thinking back on it. But that's because I had no guidance and I had to learn everything for myself. So I'm a follower of you and Robert, and I'm highly intrigued by both Airbnb and assisted living rental arbitrage. I'm just so torn on which one to start first. What do you think? Maddie, you do whatever makes the most sense for you and your situation. Yes, Robert answered the question for you, my guy, which I'm actually about to do home sharing, so Airbnb and VRBO, but I'm purchasing the property, whereas I'm not renting and I'm not doing rental arbitrage with it, in which Robert will be helping me with that. So that's my next business venture. So yeah, shout out to Robert. But yes, do what you feel like is best financially. So Robert talks about a lot about how much it costs him and everything. It's probably way cheaper to do Airbnb and home sharing than it is to do ALF. Um, I would say long term wise though, ALF could be more profitable, but then again, you're dealing with a whole nother beast. Um, Airbnb doesn't have state regulations as intense as ALF does, so you just got to pick and choose your battles. You know, which what do you want to do more? What are you more confident in doing? You know, but and listen, you can do both, which I will be doing both. So maybe start home sharing in Airbnb first, and then as you get more money, as you know, then you can jump into investing your money and time into home sharing business model. So both are great. Why? Because real estate's involved, and real estate is my favorite. So I love real estate because there's so many different things you can do. You can go so many different routes with it. But overall, I think the assisted living has the best cap rate, if I'm not mistaken, out of every real estate business model out there, from what I've seen. But yes, don't limit yourself to one thing. Be willing to do multiple things as time goes on. Always be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Always be willing to grow. Always be willing to, yeah, do what you can to increase your portfolio and increase your income and increase, yeah, and your chances at being financially free. So that is my advice to you, Maddie. Anybody else have any other questions? I think I see all of you guys. It's kind of, I know it lags a little bit, and so it takes a little bit just to get a couple questions going here. So overall, you guys have been asking some great questions, and I'm really happy you guys have all been jumping on here. Yes, Robert. I was thinking Airbnb or this. The thing is, my dad fell in December. I surprised him and remodeled his house, completely gutted it. Now I'm comfortable with him going home. That's awesome. That's really cool of you to do that. That's really nice. Yeah, I mean, guys, listen, there are so many opportunities out there. There's so much stuff you guys can do. And I will be talking about Airbnb and my experience once I get that all going. And Robert will be collaborating with me a lot on that. And we will take you guys through things, you know, and show you guys kind of the progress. Right now, yes, like I mentioned, I'm putting an offer on a home, so we're just waiting to hear back from that. And yeah, hopefully I start next month if all goes well, or like June, because closing takes a little while and being under contract takes a little while. So the property is just sitting. His mortgage is so low because he got some type of veterans thing long ago, so it doesn't make sense to let the renovation go to waste. Yeah, he probably got a VA loan with zero money down. So, do you think one could save enough money for ALF doing Airbnb? Yes, probably. If you got multiple listings, I don't think just one Airbnb is gonna be enough. If I had to, um, do it, if okay, I would probably do like assisted living because it is more profitable. Save up more money and then start your Airbnb. Right, start with one listing, start with two listings, and expand. Because Airbnb is such an easier business model to scale than it is assisted living, then yeah, that's probably the way to do it, possibly. So yeah, guys, great questions. I appreciate every single one of you guys getting on here. And yeah, we're almost at 40 minutes. I will do 45 minutes. So We have about 5 minutes left, guys. So feel free to ask any more questions for me. Yeah. So I'm excited though. I'm excited. I'm the one with the 450 mortgage. Oh wow, that's awesome. Is there any chance for real estate prices to go down in my lifetime? 100%. Yeah, we are already in a recession for real estate, so it's probably gonna like tank at some point soon. So realistically, how much in reserve funds should one have when starting? I've said about 50. If but then again, I started very little, so you can make. Listen, guys, you can make anything possible. The life of an entrepreneur, the life of a business owner, it's all about. There's three things you guys got to keep in mind. Okay, when you're doing just entrepreneurship, it's all about you do things to survive, right? And you find ways to be resourceful, okay? And you find ways to make things happen, and you pretty much essentially fly like an eagle. You fly high and you fly alone, and that's not because you don't want to be around other people. It's just a matter of putting on your visors and staying focused. So yeah, we definitely appreciate your live, bro. Thank you so much. Of course, Jay. I appreciate you. Are there any grants for assisted living equipment? I haven't looked into that. Smiley Smokes and dude, I love Friday. That's such a good movie. Such a good movie. I love it. It's hard to say, especially since Airbnb is really effective at a large scale like fine. So you'd have to focus on scaling your Airbnb, and that could take some time. Yes, that's exactly what I said. So Robert is on point with that. Are there any subsidies provided by the state or government for? Don't you So yes, Warren. There really isn't. Assisted living is kind of like, yeah, the government really doesn't care about us. To be honest, we're not. Yeah, unfortunately. And are there any tax benefits? Not that I know of. If there were, I would know of them, and I would tell you guys if there were. I didn't get any tax benefits. Yes, yes. Don't you get tired of living in the car, Surge? Actually, no. I love living in my car. To be honest, it's one of my favorite. Like seriously, I don't know. Like a night or two ago, I was definitely just like going to sleep, obviously. And at one point, I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm so grateful for where I'm at, like right now, currently, like in my car, because I know what's around the corner, and God knows my situation, and He knows that He's going to help me persevere, and I'm gonna get to where I want to get. And yes, I will suffer now to be able to have the life I want to have in the near future. So if I have the property, it'll still be about 50,000 to get started. Geesh. No, K Michelle, that's not the. I mean, it's safe to have 50,000. It is. I just ran out of money really fast because I didn't know what I was doing properly and I wasn't investing in it. So, do your residents know you live in the garage and do they give you any feedback? Yes, my residents know I live in the garage. Of course, they know. All my families know. Um, they don't care. They're like, it's your life. You're young. If you that's what you want to do to save money and to, you know, be more economical, then go for it. So yeah, Robert. And do they give you any feedback? My residents really don't care. They have dementia. A lot of them do. And they could care less that in my garage. So I don't think they care. At the end of the day, my priority is my residents. I'm happy my residents aren't in the garage, right? And I'm over there like sleeping in their room, right? That would be messed up. So yeah, um, that's just that. So yeah, guys, one more minute, and I just want to thank you guys for jumping on here with me. You guys are awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. But don't worry, I won't be living in my car for very long. Hopefully that situation will change soon. But you know what? It'll be part of my story, and here I am today doing what I need to do. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you again. I learned from you so much. I am so blessed to be citizens of this amazing country where everything is possible. God bless you. Yes, Maya, God bless you too. This country is amazing. So again, guys, I appreciate all of you. Stay strong. You're an inspiration to us. Thanks for the game. Yes, of course. I will be doing a lot more live streams too. So I thank all of you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next live stream. I will be dropping a video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, guys, go ahead and give a like, and I will see you guys all in the next live stream. God bless. Peace.